Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and major news. Vladimir Putin led a very high level delegation, basically all his most important people seemingly, to China. And he's welcomed by Xi Jinping, the leader of China, and they have made a joint statement which is actually very significant. So, based on the summary, let's say by Lord Babel, I will play the video later towards the end of this video, and you can actually watch it, so that I can talk about it first. And basically, the summary was that they are trying to build this new world order, that is based on democratic principles and facilitated by the UN. And all these international institutions, including the United Nations, the World Bank, IMF, whatever, should be depolarized and hence should not be pro-Western. So they are trying to rehabilitate all these international organizations to not be weaponized. Basically, really make it what they are supposed to be, at least on paper, which is for every country. So, and then they declared that this new order should coincide with new realities, like, for example, India should be in the United Nations Security Council, and there should be no military alliance in the Asia Pacific. There should be no AUKUS. So these are all very interesting points. Some of these points is not mentioned in this very short clip because this is just a less than 2 minutes clip, which I will play for you later. So I just want to talk a bit of these few things. I think first thing first, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, literally, because India is the elephant. Basically, this is actually very significant. Let's say just by simply Russia and China both are Permanent Security Council members, both declare that they are proposing this resolution for India to join the United Nations Security Council. And this is going to make things extremely difficult for the Western powers, because which country dare to veto India joining the Security Council? There's only three other members: United States, France, and UK. Does any of these three dare to veto India joining the Security Council? 100%, if this go through the General Assembly, India 100% is going to get the favorable votes to become a permanent Security Council member. 100%, like, for sure. Like, a lot of countries are very favorable to India becoming this permanent member with veto power, because India has proven to be a largely very peaceful country, very nice country to everyone. They don't interfere with their local politics and whatnot. They don't play geopolitical games, largely speaking. So India is very popular on the international stage. So if China and Russia decided to propose, we're going to propose to include India into the permanent member, and 100% United States, UK, and France don't want it, because that will even the playing field in a way, because they view India as not West. It's not part of the West, and that will literally put the Permanent Security Council votes into a 50-50 situation, where you have the Western powers, UK, France, and United States, versus China, Russia, and India. And 100% Russia, China, and India, just by pure population size, is extremely heavy. So this is definitely, if they actually propose, and I think they should, because it will pose a very difficult geopolitical conundrum for the West. Because imagine they veto any country, be it France, UK, or United States, it will 100% immediately plunge this international relationship between India and the country that veto it to a very low levels, 100%. Because India will be like, why the hell did you veto me? What's wrong with you? What do you not like about India? And then relationship between India and whichever power that veto this proposal will be in deep trouble with India, and that will literally just push India into the arms of Russia and China, because Russia and China has been constantly courting India into their so-called side, so-called side. Although there's not really a clear side per se, there's only west and northwest. But India has been trying very hard to stay neutral, and if this become a kind of vote and someone decided to veto, 100% is going to push India into the arms of Russia and China. Like India will straight away know that, okay, then I have no choice. You push me into a side, then I just going to take a side. So that is the situation with India. And of course, no military alliance in Asia Pacific, of course, is going to be a difficult thing. But ultimately, AUKUS is Australia, UK, and US. It's not Asia Pacific per se. It's an international military alliance, because UK is not part of the Asia Pacific. So it's more like an Anglo international alliance. So and of course China and Russia don't want Australia to gain nuclear weapons, to gain nuclear armaments, and to have weapons that is nuclear powered. That's for sure, because that alters the balance of power, that makes China or Russia feels a bit less safe. So yeah, that's the main purpose of this. And so far there is no real military alliance in the Asia Pacific. And AUKUS, as a military alliance, is actually not exactly in Asia per se. Australia is arguable whether they are in Asia or not. In Pacific, yes. So this is the these two lower points I've covered. So now is these other things that is interesting. So this new diplomatic principle, they wanted to depolarize, they want to de-westernize this international institution. This, of course, is going to be a great news for most of the world, because most of these international institutions are weaponized by United States, generally speaking, and to a lesser extent Europe. And of course European countries, many of them are actually victims of this, like World Bank and all this. So where they have this not exactly sure if the economic principles are behind some of the austerity measures they expected from the countries that are taking their loans. I'm not sure if this sound such principles, but a lot of countries suffers from it, and of course massive transfer of wealth from these loany countries to these loaner countries. So which is why the Greece is suffering this much, which is why a lot of people don't like the World Bank, don't like the IMF and whatnot. And I think it's a good idea that it should be more internationalized, because we are indeed living in a different world. The polarism is a reality right now. It has become a reality, and it doesn't look like it's going to be able to go back anymore. I think the US hegemony is over. Like I usually I don't say this lightly, but it looks like the situation, the things happening over the past 1 year, under Biden, the United States under Biden, have deteriorated to the point where US hegemony is no longer possible. The amount of debt that United States have accrued has been too high, to the point where it's just impossible for United States to maintain that power, because no one is trusting the US dollar anymore. They are struggling to sell bonds, which is why they are raising interest rates. They are trying to get people. However, the short-term interest rate is higher than the long-term one, which means that they are desperate. So things are very bad for the United States, and they are on the verge of any time there could be an economic collapse. Something triggers, and there will be a massive sell-off, and suddenly there will be a Great Depression. And I think it's very hard to run away from it. How many countries are able to escape it, or minimize the impact from a potential United States economic collapse is hard to tell. And whatever happening through the Ukraine war, Europe is declining greatly. Energy cost is way too high for them to be competitive with China. Germany is deindustrializing. Eastern Europe is starting to revolt against the EU. They are starting to talk about peace negotiations. They are talking about time to end the war, because whatever they are doing, they are talking about the collective West or the European countries, whatever they are doing to Russia is not working. And they say that the Eastern European countries are starting to say that maybe it's time to end. And it got so bad. One of these leaders got assassinated. He didn't die. He managed to survive. The leader of Slovakia, so who is a rather pro-Russia in his stance. So things are not are very in flux, and I think it's just a final struggle from the West. Like someone is suffocating and then they're kicking in the water kind of situation. Yeah, it's something like this. They are trying to do whatever they can to just try to get to maintain whatever they have, and but it's not gonna work. Unfortunately, I think they overplayed their hands. Ukraine war is that nail in the coffin. I think they should have supported Ukraine. The support for Ukraine has basically created this geopolitical difficulty for the Europe to compete. China is not the China as a competition is not only to United States, it's actually to the entire world. China with its economic might, the manufacturing prowess, its ability to control its currency, and its economic efficiency has basically caused extreme trade imbalance with most of the country in the world. So it's not a European thing. It's actually all of Asia, India as well. The only those countries that are doing okay is countries that sell resources to China. But under this kind of a massive new age where China is this dominant power, where they are underselling literally everything. They are underpricing everything and causing a extreme difficulty to compete in the trade and in stuff, selling stuff and manufacturing. And not just that, they earn so much money, they can invest heavily on technological advances, developments, research. In view of all these things, Europe decided to focus on Ukraine and focus on trying to defeat Russia, which is extremely poorly thought of. Russia had never wanted to really be so close to China. Russia wanted to be European. Russia wants to be with Europe and to be with Europe, together with Europe, become a counterbalance to China. Because Russia have the resources, they do not have the manpower, they do not have the industrial base. They have the industrial base, but not at the level of the high tech ones like Germany have, Italy have, and it's a good match in heaven. However, Europe decided to burn the bridge, and everything just collapsed. Russia have no choice. So now we have this massive imbalance geopolitically, where the West is actually not as strong as China, Russia, India. Bulk. This grouping is too heavy. Japan is no longer relevant per se. South Korea also not that much, because one China can basically press the entire of East Asia as well as Southeast Asia. So this poor chess play by by Europe, by United States, by the collective West, they in chess term it's called blundered. They blundered. So we are just looking at the end game right now, and there is no escape. And I think this China and Russia is clearly have saw the writing in the wall, in the stars, and they started to make this statement because it's time to go to the next step. Russia is winning in the war in Ukraine, I think. Based on my reporting, that seems to be the case. Russia is in no rush to conquer more land. They are still fighting. They are basically winning at this moment, which is why Russia is now taking this next step with China. China is also winning generally, geopolitically, in trade, in diplomacy. So it's time for them to push this to the next phase, which is why they are now challenging the leadership of international organizations. I think this is what is now happening. This is a significant development, and I think yeah, what else more to say? So let's I will play this video, and hopefully we will not get copyright strike.
Мы солидарно работаем над формированием более справедливого и демократического многополярного мироустройства, которое должно опираться на центральную роль Организации Объединенных Наций и ее Совета Безопасности, международное право, культурно-цивилизационное многообразие, выверенный баланс интересов всех участников мирового сообщества. С этих позиций Россия и Китай плодотворно взаимодействуют в БРИКС, где Россия председательствует в нынешнем году, и в Шанхайской организации сотрудничества, председательство в котором перейдет Китаю в июле. Разумеется, наши страны настроены продолжать усилия по сопряжению интеграционных процессов в рамках Евразес и китайской инициативы «Один пояс, один путь», с прицелом на формирование в перспективе большого евразийского партнерства. Именно поэтому наши страны ратуют за оздоровление глобального экономического управления, за реформирование и деполитизацию многосторонних институтов, таких как Всемирная торговая организация, Группа 20, Форум Азиатско-Тихоокеанского экономического сотрудничества и их приведение в соответствие с современными реалиями. Считаем необходимым вести дело к построению надежной и адекватной архитектуры безопасности в Азиатско-Тихоокеанском регионе, в которой нет места закрытым военно-политическим альянсам. Мы считаем, что это очень вредно и контрпродуктивно создание таких альянсов. Мы договорились с председателем Си Цзиньпинем подробно обсудить весь комплекс внешнеполитической повестки дня на неформальной встрече сегодня вечером. Безусловно, я со своей стороны проинформирую председателя.
So this is the video, the full video uploaded by Lord Babel. So anyway, very significant news, as I mentioned, a very significant geopolitical step. I 100% suspect this is going to be underreported because especially in the West, but no doubts this is one of the biggest development in geopolitics today. Is much bigger than the assassination or attempt on the Slovakian president. This is the big one. This is the major one. So which is why I'm covering this first. So anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. This about this new situation, new reality, or this new development in geopolitics. And I'll see you guys in the next update.